Lesson 6. How to Cope with Binge Eating Disorder. This book so far has discussed the key to lasting healing from BED. It has highlighted the benefits of psychotherapy as well as personal exploration into what has led one into binge eating behavior. This process must occur for an individual to see transformation, where they have learned to develop healthy intimacy with others instead of turning to food. Many sources will endorse tips, such as not bringing binge food into the house or limiting one's access to food. Individuals with this disease function like those with substance dependence. The reality is, if an individual with BED is intent on binging, they will do it regardless of what food is in the house or not. They will go buy it, break into a locked cupboard, or binge on any food that is there. Therefore, the following coping skills are not tips for behavior management. Instead of setting up barriers to a binge, the following tools are centered on helping an individual work through what is underlying. These are only several ideas, as an individual may also explore other methods of coping that are tailored to their own interests and preferences. Journaling. Many individuals find journaling to be a therapeutic tool when the urge to binge strikes. Instead of engaging in the behavior, one can make the conscious decision to stop, breathe, and pull out a journal. They can then take some time to get in tune with their emotions instead of automatically acting from impulse. Did something happen during the day that triggered the urge to binge? What emotions are there that need to be attended to? Is this future binge an attempt to cover up boredom, loneliness, to distract from something, to fill an emptiness, or push down what seems too heavy to deal with? And more importantly, will food be able to do what it appears it will? What happens after the binge, when distraction doesn't take away the problem, when the emotions emerge again, when there is still complete emptiness? Writing openly and honestly about one's emotions provides an outlet for expression. Sitting with a journal prompts an individual to sit with their emotions instead of running from them. Alternative activities. When one is confronted with the urge to binge, it takes much strength to fight back and decide not to give in to the voice that says a binge is inevitable. In these instances, it is helpful for an individual to have alternative forms of coping that they can fall back on. Maybe that is going for a walk and getting fresh air, calling a friend, playing with a pet, drawing, taking a bubble bath, listening to music, or deep breathing. Whatever is soothing and calming to the unique individual and makes them feel like they can wait out the temptation to binge eat. The goal is not to distract an individual from digging into the deeper feelings there, but to allow them a way to let the overwhelming urge pass until they feel more capable of handling the emotions. Sometimes the eating disorder voice telling them to binge is so demanding and difficult to ignore that all a person can do at that point is an activity that is peaceful that they can get lost in. Many individuals find that by using a coping skill, the urge to binge passes. Not giving into the overwhelming urge empowers an individual that they do not have to give in, that there is a way to cope in a constructive way. Reaching out for support. Leaning on others to provide support is a central part of recovery for those living with BED. In the moment one feels the compulsion to binge, reaching out to another person signifies victory. BED tends to isolate an individual, convincing them that they must separate themselves from others to binge eat. What a win for an individual to fight the eating disorder voice by seeking out another person in that time of desperation. It is the last thing an individual wants to do in such a state. What is easier is to give in, to withdraw, and eat. What is much harder is for an individual to let someone else in, even if they have to force themselves to contact a family member or friend and say, "I feel like I am about to binge. Could I come over? Or could you stay on the phone with me and talk me through this?" If one has not yet disclosed their binge eating concerns with anyone, there are resources such as the National Eating Disorders Association forums, where members can post anonymously and receive advice, support, and encouragement from others who have walked through and are currently walking through similar struggles. The many benefits of social support cannot be ignored regardless of what stage of recovery an individual is in. If they are just recognizing there is a problem, working towards healing, or finding behaviors occurring less and less frequently. Living with BED is a consistent battle one cannot navigate on their own. It is crucial to have others walking alongside them every step of the way.